What's goody? Welcome back to the Born Ballin' channel. How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to be talking about 3 restricted free agents that are more than likely going to be on the move. Now, obviously their teams can match whatever offer a team gives them, but I'm pretty sure if the offer that is given to them is higher than what they're trying to give, they're just going to let the player walk. Those 3 players that we're looking at today are John Collins, Duncan Robinson, and Jarrett Allen. Now, before we hop into the video, let's explain the difference between a restricted free agent and an unrestricted free agent. A restricted free agent and an unrestricted free agent both can sign to any team that they want to. But when a restricted free agent signs a contract, it's called a qualifying offer, an offer sheet. When an unrestricted free agent signs an offer, they just sign the contract, they're on that team. The restricted free agent signs the offer sheet, and the team that they're on currently is allowed to match whatever offer that is. So if they are right now play for the Miami Heat, because I'm a Heat fan, if they play for the Miami Heat and they sign to the OKC Thunder for $26 million, and the Heat want to keep that player, they can match the $26 million and keep that player. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's hop right into it. Now, the first player we have on the list is John Collins. The Hawks made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. When Nate McMillan took over for Lloyd Pierce, their whole organization flipped. And they rolled that ride to the Eastern Conference Finals, and now they're expecting big things. John Collins was offered a $20+ million deal last year, and he didn't take it. Did he fold on some money? Possibly. He didn't perform that well in the playoffs, definitely not in the Eastern Conference Finals, and he had an up and down year. A lot of the Hawks did throughout the year. Injuries, COVID, it was a lot going on. I could definitely see a team seeing the potential in him and trying to give him 25, 26 mil. Do I think he's worth all that? I don't think so. He should be around like the 17, 18, 19 mil range. But if a team wants him that bad, then they're going to have to give him that bad. So I have 4 teams that I could see him going to. First one, the Pelicans. That would be a very, very nice fit right next to Zion. They can still run point Zion and still have another big on the floor that can give you something offensively and help you rebound the basketball and defend the bigs on the other end as well if Zion is not able to do that. John Collins has a very nice mid-range game that I think could work very well in the pick and roll with Zion and Lonzo as well. It would also give them another scorer next to Brandon Ingram and Zion. If they want to bring back Lonzo, they would have a really, really nice core with all 4 of those guys. The next team I could see him going to would be the Dallas Mavericks. Now, yes, they already have KP, but we all know KP, he hasn't lived up to expectations. He is a big. Is he a 4 or is he a 5? He don't want to play with his back to the basket, so maybe he's a 4. John Collins can play with his back to the basket. He can play facing the rim. He can hit the 3. John Collins' game is steady expanding, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it keep growing, especially with Luka next to him, just creating more and more opportunities for him. You never know where his game could go. So that would be a very, very nice fit for him, I could see. The third team I have is the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs probably have about 20 mil in cap space this coming off season. They have a nice young core. Keldon Johnson, Dejounte Murray, Lonnie Walker. Their draft pick last year, Devin Vassell, showed nice signs of improving throughout the year. They need a steady player that can get them buckets, and it isn't going to be on a completely max contract, so they can still make moves, and if it doesn't work out, they can move that said player. John Collins would be perfect said player. I mentioned in my last video how Dejounte Murray and Lonnie Walker, Lauri Markkanen, would be a great pick and roll tandem. Dejounte Murray and John Collins would be just the same, maybe even a little bit better because John Collins can play a little bit more above the rim as well. So him next to Jakob Poeltl, who can hold down the paint, because just like Laurie, he needs a center that can hold down the paint. He can play defense. I've seen him switch on the wing and out on the perimeter, so that I wouldn't be surprised to see him continue to do that, but I'd rather him have a center next to him. He can close at the 5, but I'd rather start with a legit center next to him. The last team I see him going to is the Orlando Magic. The Magic, they don't have much going on. I mentioned last episode, they're the island of misfit toys. They got a lot going on. Isaac and Fultz both injured. They need something solid that they could hang their hats on and say, okay, this guy is going to hold us down. He's going to be here every night. And John Collins could be that guy for them. He could get them 20 points a night. They have the 5th and the 8th pick. So if they go get 2 guards, if they get a guard and another big that can play next to John Collins, they can start to form a very nice core around John Collins, around the draft picks, and around Cole Anthony as well, who showed a lot of signs of life throughout the end of the year. Now, the next player we're going to be talking about is Jarrett Allen. Now, Jarrett Allen kind of had a whirlwind of a year last year. He was on the Nets, on the Big Two, a championship contender. Then he probably saw the Harden trade and then was like, oh, we have a Big Three. And then was like, wait, I'm in the Harden trade. And now I'm in Cleveland. Cleveland hit a heist on that trade. I still don't understand how they got him for a 2nd-round pick. He's an amazing player. He runs, he rebounds, he has very, very, very nice touch around the rim. He's athletic. I really don't know how the Cavs got that steal, but shout out to them. They got his bird rights now, so if they want to re-sign him, they can. If another team signs him and they want to match, they can do that. I can definitely see a team offering him plus $20 million, though. Now, would the Cavs do that? I don't know. They still got Kevin Love to figure out. They got Sexton to figure out. Giving the guy $20 million when you don't know about your other pieces and he's not going to be your offensive focal point, it's kind of hard to do that. So I can see them getting rid of him in a sign-and trade or just letting him walk. Now, here are a couple teams I can see him going to. Honestly, the perfect fit for him would be the Charlotte Hornets. Next to PJ, who I think needs to be playing 4. He can close at 5, but PJ really should be playing the 4 so he can do more work offensively. It would allow Jarrett Allen to just catch lobs all day from LaMelo. He would be able to run because that team was very, very fast last year. They loved running in transition, pick and rolls. They got plenty of guards he can run pick and roll with and rebound. I just want my centers to run, rebound, and roll. That's it. If you could do those 3 things at an elite level, then you deserve everything as a center. Now, the next team I have is the New York Knicks. The Knicks surprised a lot of people under Tom Thibodeau last year. They made it all the way to the 4th seed and to the playoffs. They lost in the 1st round, but Knicks in the playoffs, that was exciting, can't lie. The F trays were very, very bone-chilling because not having fans in the stadiums, it was very nice. They hang their hat on defense, playing hard-nosed defense, hustling, grinding. Jarrett Allen fits all of those. Can hustle at the rim, play hard at the rim, gives you great defense, can be a rim protector, is great at blocking shots. Jarrett Allen checks a lot of boxes that I know Tom Thibodeau has, and I know that he would love him. It would be a match made in heaven. The next team I have is the Toronto Raptors. Now, the Raptors have a lot of decisions to make. Last year was more than a handful. It was a lot. Playing in Tampa and being the Tampa Raptors might have gave them a little bit of a jinx because they dealt with injuries, they dealt with just being there, the COVID. It was a lot for them. Now they have a lot of decisions this offseason. What are they going to do with the 4th pick? Because they got the 4th pick. They were that bad. They got the 4th pick. From championship to 4th pick. Kyle Lowry. We can't give him $30 million, but do we want him to stay? Are we going to sign and trade him? What are we going to do? We needed a center last year. And by we, I mean the Raptors. We needed a center last year. That was one of our biggest holes. Personally, I like Aaron Baines, but he just didn't perform for them. And if you're not performing, I just can't play you. We need a center. Siakam at center, maybe sometimes, but Siakam needs a center behind him so he can create and he can do work. Fred VanVleet isn't the biggest guy, but he plays his you-know-what off. Hard hat guy. He needs somebody that is going to protect him and be able to work the pick and roll with him as well. Jarrett Allen playing center for them above the rim. They have some cap space. They'll be able to pay him. It would be a nice fit, Jarrett Allen and Toronto. Now, the last player I have is from my hometown, my team, the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson has turned into one of the best shooters in the league. Not best shooters on the East, not best shooters in the West, in the world, damn near. Duncan Robinson is that good. 6'7", quick release, catch high, keep it high, let it fly. He's a shooter, knock down. Where's he gonna go? How much can he get? I definitely could see somebody offering him $25 million just because they want him on their team that bad. He's that good of a shooter, and I legit can't complain. If somebody wants to give him that, he kind of deserves it. He's that good. But I don't see the Heat wanting to give him that much money. They might try, they would probably cap it like 18, 19, maybe 20. 20 will probably be pushing it. So here are three teams that I could see going for Duncan Robinson because I doubt the Heat would match if they go plus 20. First team is the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis just made the playoffs last year. John Morant is a great leader. JJJ didn't play most of last year, and he could possibly be their best player still. We still don't know what his ceiling is. He wasn't able to show it last year because of the torn meniscus. So we still don't know about him. And Dillon Brooks, he shined last year, especially in the playoffs. He stepped up, averaged almost 20 points a game. I think he actually did average 20 points a game. If you gave them another option offensively, whether it be like a dynamic scorer or a shooter like Duncan Robinson, I think that would expand their offense just enough. Open up Jaw a little bit more. JJJ give you a little bit more. And we're really close to being real contenders in the West. We just made the playoffs in Jaw's second year. JJJ's third. Dillon Brooks is already on a contract. We have a lot of young assets. We probably have the most young assets and the best young nucleus in the league. Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark. We got a lot of players. So bringing in Duncan Robinson, who's not young per se, but he's definitely not an old veteran. I'm looking over, Patty Mills is doing a post-game interview, so I'm pretty sure USA just lost. Crazy. Lost my train of thought. Well, we're gonna cut because what are we doing? Come on, USA, what are we doing? But yeah, man, Duncan Robinson on that team, it would open up a lot for them. Taylor Jenkins has been a great coach for them. I could see that him and Jaw have been getting along, and Duncan on that team would just open them up so much offensively. And everything that he's learned from Miami, he could bring to Memphis. They have a little culture thing going on, so maybe he could bring even more of that culture from Miami to Memphis and just solidify them as a real team that one day soon will be a contender. Now, the next team I have is the Houston Rockets. They had the opposite of a Rocket last year. That was a bomb. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Your superstar got fat and complained until he left. You had a new coach, and he kind of felt like he kind of got disrespected, and I don't blame him because he kind of did. That whole organization took a left turn. Your owner's going through financial troubles. Y'all ain't got no draft picks, but you do now. You got the second pick now, and we got some cap space. We also found Kevin Porter Jr., and he's a hooper. Apparently, he's a point guard. He tweeted that the other day. So there's that. So maybe we could take a shooting guard now. And we also could get another shooter since we have a point guard. Duncan Robinson would open up their offense so much. Duncan Robinson will open up anybody's offense so much. that knockdown of a shooter, just making the defense have to pay attention to every single move he makes, just opens up so many more opportunities for other guys. And Houston just needs as much help as they can get. So having that much cap space, I definitely could see them overpaying for Duncan Robinson, trying to see if KPJ, him, Christian Wood, and whoever we take second can generate enough points to where we're not losing by 30 some games and that we're not in the top 5 of the lottery the next year, because that's probably not fun losing that many games. But if it gets you that high of a draft pick, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Duncan Robinson would be a nice fit there. He's not all the way with the off-court activity, so I don't know how much fun he would have, but I've heard it's very, very fun in Houston, so it would be a plus for him as well. The next team I can see him going to is the New York Knicks. Yes, the New York Knicks again. They have a lot of cap space. New York is the mecca of basketball. The Garden is technically. Everybody likes playing there. I can see why. You definitely saw why last playoffs. The atmosphere is crazy. It's definitely unmatched. So there's no doubt about that. They have a lot of cap space. They have a team that plays hard. And honestly, if you're a winner, which I see Duncan Robinson as, you want a team that's going to play hard. You want players that are going to play hard with you because you're going to play hard. And you don't want to have to question, are these guys going to play hard with me? Pause. You want to be able to just go out and hoop and not think about anything. Duncan Robinson's already said that he struggles with mental health stuff, so definitely being able to just hoop, not think about anything, and just go out there, concentrate, and hoop, that would be very nice for them. They're already a number 4 seed, so it's not like they're losers. They got cap space, so maybe they could sign him and somebody else. They could start to build something. Julius Randle, first-time All-Star. It's only up from here for him. So who knows where the New York Knicks could go. Well, that's all we got for today. If you guys want to see me talk about anything specific, another player, I seen in the comments somebody wanted me to talk about Rui Hachimura, so guess what? We talking about Rui Hachimura next video. We're going to talk about a couple more young players as well. This has been the Born Ballin' Show at Born_Ballin_ is where you can find me on Twitter. At CHZEEZ_0 is my personal Twitter. Again, that's at Born_BALLIN_. And I'll catch you guys next time. Deuce.